Let me begin with an statement. We began in the nation yesterday with the beginning of a trial for those involved in the murder of George Floyd. Sometimes justice takes time, but it's never too late. Systemic racism is institutional and structural. And racism is a system that structures opportunity and assigns value based on social interpretation on how an individual looks. Throughout history, systemic racism has manifested as discrimination and oppression directed towards communities of color, resulting in trauma and harm to the health and well-being for targets of racism, their families, their communities, and subsequent generations. Systemic racism causes discrimination that impacts all aspects of life, including housing, education, employment, and criminal justice, as racism itself is a social determinant of health. As Dr. Thelma Jackson stated, 25% of Thurston County residents are Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Thurston County residents' life expectancy is 81 years old. However, Thurston County residents who are Native American, the life expectancy is 72 years old. Native Hawaiian Pacific Islanders, the life expectancy is 73 years old. In African Americans, life expectancy is 78 years old. The infant mortality rate in Thurston County among African American babies is 9.9%. Hispanics at 4.8% compared to the county as a whole of 4.4%. The county government has an essential role in changing harmful policies and practices that perpetuate systemic racism. This is the first step as to how we, as a county, as leaders, as you commissioners, as elected officials, we can take the first step of this long journey. But also before we take the first step, we need to be committed to the long road ahead. And it's not about passing this resolution and pretend the problem has been solved. I believe that we as leaders, we have the obligation to set the stage for the future generations to carry on with this banner. Because it's going to take diligence, it's going to take commitment, and it's going to take resources to keep moving forward.
So I am in full support of passing this resolution. I think of the special significance of today being Billy Frank Jr.'s birthday. I am honestly happy for those who have never witnessed or experienced racism in their life or even here in Thurston County. But just because you don't see it or experience it doesn't mean that it's not happening and that it's not affecting our residents. I see this as a step forward, a step in improving and being accountable. I believe there's always room for improvement, and we're headed in the right direction.
I got a pretty good education from my parents, and basically, they taught me, treat people like you would like to be treated. It was pretty simple, but we can always do better, and I guess that's what we're doing here today.
I would say that in addition to work on the pandemic and climate change, this has been one of the most meaningful pieces of work that I've had as a commissioner over the last year. We've had good discussions amongst the board and a lot of community input to getting us where we are now. It's been stated, what is the true nature of the issue today in Thurston County, and we've had so many pieces of evidence of the nature of the issue throughout our nation, locally, whether it's things going on downtown, whether it's things going on in the nation's capital. I mean, you have to look no further than January 6th, where we had folks chanting racist slogans and wearing Holocaust-denying T-shirts, etc., storming the Capitol. The President of the United States going on television and saying that he loved those people and they were very special. The world was watching us that day. And I was, as an American, I was humiliated. I was disgusted. I was embarrassed. But it put into very sharp focus, as if we needed it to, but to put in very sharp focus the necessity of actions like what we're doing here today for me. Several of the commenters, including our county manager and assistant county manager, talked about how, you know, the key, and I've tried to beat this drum throughout the year as we've discussed how to go about putting this resolution together. It has to be about follow-up and action. And I commit to the people here today and the entire community, this will not be the end of the actions of Thurston County on this topic. There will be follow-through, there will be community engagement, there will be resources dedicated, there will be education and training and you know, follow-up of various sorts. Details are still being discussed and will be you know, made concrete, but that is my commitment to my community. I'd like to thank everyone for being here. It feels good to do something like this and feel the support and the interest of the community. So it makes a big difference to us as the folks that are able to put this into black and white. So that's my comments on the matter. And with that, is there a motion?
Yes, Chair. I would move to approve the resolution declaring racism a crisis in Thurston County.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further comment or discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries and the resolution has been adopted. Thank you.